Hey everybody, so I'm back with my final video for 2017, and like my final video for 2016, I will be answering 6 cosplay New Year's sort of questions, and then at the very end of the video I will be answering some of your questions, which were submitted to me when I opened up my Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr for messages. Now I haven't done a Q&A since I was a cosplay guest at convention, so it has been quite a while, so I just picked a very few out of the ones that I received to answer for you guys. If you want me to do a more in-depth Q&A in the future, just let me know. Feel free to ask your questions down in the comments. I'm pretty much an open book, but for this video we're gonna keep it pretty short and pretty simple. So question number 1 is, what was your favorite cosplay of the year? This is very easy to answer because I didn't actually do a lot of in-depth cosplays this year. I did a lot of casual things. I definitely love the Mimikyu I finished, but I haven't actually worn that out and about, and I haven't done it all put together, so of course my answer is going to have to be my sweet chocobo boy, Prompto. Question number 2 is, what was your biggest cosplay challenge of the year? So I've said this before, I think in other videos and pretty much online, but every time I pick a costume, I try to pick something that is going to teach me at least one new thing or have me use a skill that I don't use that often. So of course, I think all of these questions are going to be answered in terms of Prompto because that was my biggest build for the year. But you know, my biggest challenge in terms of Prompto was probably his patches, I want to say. Everything else was pretty much gluing stuff together, painting, sewing, but the patches took a lot of time and effort, I think, to get them all done, from designing them to vectoring them to embroidering them. It probably took me about 2 weeks. The next question is, what was your favorite cosplay memory of the year? So I don't actually remember how I answered this question last year, and maybe because I'm older, I don't really feel like it's narrow enough. It is a very vague question, like your favorite cosplay memory. Cosplay in general has been a big part of my life for many, many years, over a decade now, so I enjoy everything about it pretty much. I enjoy going to conventions and seeing my friends. I enjoy making the costumes from start to finish. I enjoy making videos about cosplay to share with all of you. So again, it's quite vague, and I'm just not really sure how to answer that one. And I wrote these questions, that doesn't make any sense. After that, it is, what is your least favorite memory about cosplay? This one is also vague, but I do know a better way to answer this one. So I haven't gone into too much depth about it, and I may do a video on it later. Everything's still kind of up in the air, but I have an allergy to the sun, basically. So being outside in the sunshine, in the heat, ends up being extremely painful for me. So wearing Prompto, which is sleeveless, out in the Texas heat, you know, I didn't get to enjoy it to the fullest, and I think just in general my health is what caused me to have some of my least favorite memories, more so in that I just wish I could have experienced more. The 5th question is, what is something that you challenged yourself with? So in terms of Prompto, I have altered boots before, but attaching straps with glue and stuff, I was extremely nervous that they would break off, so that was a little new for me. Going that in depth with patches was a little new for me. Making bracelets and that kind of jewelry, just doing so much stud work. I mean, there were a lot of new things with that costume. They were all small new things, but still new things. And in terms of Mimikyu, I have never made a kigurumi. I am quite tall. Kigurumis never fit me properly, so I don't bother wearing them. I don't bother buying them. And even though Mimikyu is more of like a cape and not necessarily a kigurumi, that's the first time I've ever really made something with fleece that's that kind of comfortable, sort of cartoony, caricature. I'm not really sure how you would explain it, but it is my first time doing something like that. So my 6th and final question is, what are your 5 goals for 2018? Obviously we all set a lot of goals for ourselves, and some of them are definitely beyond our reach, and we're just really being hopeful on those. So I tried to set 5 that are a little bit more realistic in a sense that they're definitely something I feel I can accomplish in 2018. And then of course I have my separate list of things that are like, yeah, you might be able to do that if you work really, really hard. But here are the 5 that I think are pretty much within my grasp. The first one is to make more detailed cosplay and just make more cosplay in general. The last couple of years I have been, I don't want to say lazy, but I have been a little bit more on the casual side of costumes. I still plan to do some casual cosplays because a lot of the characters I like are just simple, like high schoolers or sports teams and things like that, so they don't have a lot of different variations. But like I said, I am already making plans for 2018. I do have a lot of things scribbled down, so hopefully I can make those happen. My second goal is to finish all my unwatched animes. I have so many animes I have started and haven't finished because I just keep starting other animes, and it gets crazy. I have so many episodes that I need to catch up on, and I'm like, please don't give me any spoilers. But I find it hard to balance my time between making videos for YouTube, you know, editing those videos, going to work, cosplay, anime, like it's just reading, there's video games. There's a lot of stuff to do and just not a lot of free time. So one of my goals is to definitely catch up on anime. My third goal is to share more work in progress with all of you. I may not film all of the things I'm gonna work on next year for YouTube, I'm not 100%, but I definitely want to use my Instagram and possibly my Twitter, I've actually already mentioned this on Twitter before, to share more work in progress photos with everyone. I used to do it back when I was working on like Desert Makoto, and I was always posting pictures of like, oh, I finished this part, and I felt that it really kept me more inspired and on track with things, so I do want to get back into doing that. My next goal is to try and get to an out-of-state convention. I have friends all over the country that are always hyping up all these other conventions, and my fear of long distance traveling has kept me from doing it. More so, it's a fear of flying. I am terrified of heights, so I just never have gone to anything that I couldn't drive to. So I want to get over that this year. I've been cosplaying for a long time, going to the same conventions every single year, and I'm getting a little bit bored. So I want to branch out and try to go somewhere new. And my last goal for 2018 is to make some more cosplay and anime friends and desperately try to be a part of a cosplay group. I see these people do these massive cosplay groups from different animes and games, and they do these really wicked awesome photo shoots, and I've never been a part of that, so I really want to try to make that happen. So now that I have answered my own questions for 2018 and my goals for 2018, I'm going to answer just a few of some of the questions I received when I opened up for Q&A submissions. So question number 1 is on Instagram. It says, if money and time were not an issue, which out-of-state convention would you want to attend and why? So to keep it brief, there are a lot of great conventions all over the United States. I know there's Dragon Con, I know there's BlizzCon, there's Anime Expo, there's a lot of big ones. I think realistically I would probably just want to go to either Anime Expo or ASIN, simply because I have friends that go to those conventions that I haven't been able to actually meet in person. So if money and time weren't an issue, I'd want to go to one of those, and even if I didn't get to enjoy the convention, I would get to see the people that I would love to see, but they just live too far away. So I think that's a pretty good reason. If I had to pick based not off of my friendships, I would probably just do like San Diego Comic-Con and try to get in line and meet some attractive famous people. The next question is also from Instagram. It says, I was wondering how long you've been cosplaying. Also, do you have any dream cosplays? So my first cosplay was in 2005, and it was Lynn from Final Fantasy X-2. And in terms of dream cosplays, I don't really have one, because when I want to cosplay something, I just cosplay it. To be fair though, I haven't actually sat and thought about what I would consider a dream project. I'm trying to be a little bit more aware of things that I really want to do in 2018, so that way I can get more done and more crossed off that ever-growing list of mine. The next question comes from Tumblr, and it is simply, how do you afford your cosplays? So super simple answer, I'm grown and I work a very boring 8 to 5 job. I do 40+ hours a week, and after paying all my bills and all that super fun adult stuff, I budget the rest of my remaining money so that way I can buy the materials I need to make what I want. It also helps me determine what will be made from scratch and what will be purchased. So the last question I'm going to answer is also from Tumblr, and it simply asks, have you ever competed in a cosplay contest before? So in all my years of cosplaying, I have only entered a costume contest 3 times. The first time I entered, I won 3rd place, and the 3rd time that I entered, I was Sebastian from Black Butler with my friend and a couple other people we met at the convention, and we took Best Craftsmanship, which was pretty awesome. but I was so horribly nervous. Over the years, I've developed extreme social anxiety. I like to believe I have gotten it a little bit more under control as the years have passed, so I'm hoping in the future, even if I just do it with the group, that I enter contests again, because I would really like to have that experience where I'm not shaking so bad that I'm gonna fall off the stage. And that is a wrap on 2017. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos up until now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.